What will happen when an elderly elephant, tired and alone, faces a life-changing journey? As he moves to a new home, a dangerous encounter with wild predators threatens everything. Will he survive? Stick around to discover the shocking turn this story takes. The story begins with an old elephant named Aqua, who lived at the Johannesburg Zoo in South Africa. He had been there longer than most people could remember. Aqua arrived at the zoo when he was just a baby, small enough to walk under the big trees without touching the branches. As the years passed, he grew into a huge, gentle giant, seeing many summers, winters, and rainy days. For over 30 years, Aqua made the zoo his home. The staff cared for him like family, and visitors loved watching him slowly walk around, lifting his trunk high, almost like he was saying hello. Aqua brought smiles to many faces, but even the strongest must face time. As he grew older, his body grew tired. His steps became heavy, and he spent long hours resting under the trees he once played around. The zoo's vets did everything they could to make Aqua comfortable. They made his home softer and gave him special care. Still, it wasn't enough. Deep inside, they knew Aqua needed more than a bigger space or softer ground. He needed peace, wide open land, and the freedom to be an elephant again, not just live in a cage. The zoo staff held meeting after meeting, trying to decide what was best for their old friend. Aqua had spent so many years at the zoo, and everyone loved him like family. It wasn't easy to think about letting him go, but deep down, they knew Aqua needed a better place, a home where he could walk freely and rest under the open sky. After many long talks, they made a hard decision. They would find a sanctuary where Aqua could live the rest of his life in peace. They sent messages to parks and sanctuaries all across South Africa, hoping someone would say yes. Weeks went by, and finally, good news arrived. Addo Elephant National Park, a beautiful sanctuary in the Eastern Cape, agreed to welcome Aqua. They promised to give him the quiet, happy life he deserved. It felt like a dream come true. When the day came to move, Aqua slowly stepped onto the transport truck. His big, kind eyes looked tired and sad. He was leaving behind the only home he had ever known, heading into a new chapter under the wide South African sky. At Addo, a caretaker named Isaac was chosen to look after Aqua. Isaac had spent many years caring for wild elephants, but Aqua's story touched him in a way no other had. When the truck finally arrived, Isaac was there, standing quietly with a soft smile, trying to make Aqua feel safe after his long journey. Aqua slowly stepped out of the truck and paused. He lifted his trunk high, taking in the new smells and sounds. Everything was different: the fresh air, the soft ground under his feet, and the open land stretching far and wide. No more walls, no more small spaces. Even though Aqua's body was old and tired, something inside him felt awake, like a small light flickering back to life. Isaac kept Aqua near the main area where the vets could watch him closely. Every morning, Isaac brought fresh fruits and vegetables and spoke to Aqua in a calm, caring voice. Day by day, trust began to grow. Aqua started to recognize Isaac's soft steps and gentle hands. For a while, life felt peaceful. Aqua explored the grassy fields at his own pace and enjoyed the warm sun on his back. It was the kind of life he had waited for all along. But one afternoon, something happened that changed everything. When Isaac came for his usual check, Aqua was nowhere to be found. Panic hit Isaac like a wave. He rushed to search the area, calling out for Aqua, but there was no sign of him. His heart pounded in his chest as he jumped into his truck and followed the large footprints leading deeper into the reserve. He tried calling for help, but the signal was too weak. The farther he drove, the quieter and wilder the world became. Suddenly, a lion's roar shattered the silence, followed by an elephant's cry. Isaac's heart sank. He slammed his foot on the gas pedal, fear tightening around him. When he reached the spot, what he saw stopped him in his tracks. Aqua was surrounded by lions. The tired old elephant tried to protect himself, swinging his trunk weakly, his body trembling. The lions waited, patient and hungry, ready to strike. Isaac knew he couldn't waste a second. He grabbed the only thing he could find, a long stick, and ran straight toward the lions, shouting as loud as he could. He waved the stick in the air, making himself look bigger and more threatening. The lions growled, showing their sharp teeth, but Isaac didn't back down. He screamed, waved the stick, and stomped his feet. Every bit of courage he had went into scaring them away, his voice growing louder and stronger. After what felt like forever, the lions finally turned and backed off. One by one, they disappeared into the tall grass. Only when the last lion was gone did Isaac rush over to Aqua. The old elephant had collapsed, breathing heavily. His skin was scratched and dirty, but he was still alive. Isaac knelt down, gently placing his hand on Aqua's rough forehead. "It's okay, boy. It's over now," he whispered, trying to hold back tears. Isaac checked Aqua's body. Thankfully, there were no serious injuries, just scrapes and bruises. But Aqua was exhausted, his strength almost gone. Isaac knew they had to move. But when they reached the truck, Aqua didn't have the strength to climb on. He was exhausted, his legs shaking. There was no other choice. Isaac made the decision to drive slowly, letting Aqua walk behind the truck. The sun began to set, turning the sky a beautiful mix of gold and pink. As the temperature dropped and the air grew colder, Isaac kept glancing in the rearview mirror, making sure Aqua was still behind him. Every few minutes he would call out softly, urging Aqua to keep going. Aqua's steps were slow and heavy. His breathing was labored, but he didn't stop. Step by step he kept going, determined to follow Isaac. The road ahead seemed endless. Every bump in the path, every twist and turn, made Isaac worry. He drove carefully, picking the smoothest roads, keeping the headlights low so as not to startle Aqua. Hours passed, and the sky turned dark, filled with stars. The cold wind cut through Isaac's jacket, but he ignored it. His focus stayed on the road ahead, and Aqua, who was still behind him, pushing forward with every step. Finally, after what felt like forever, the soft glow of lights appeared in the distance. They had made it. Aqua had made it. When they arrived, staff rushed to help. They wrapped Aqua in warm blankets, gave him water, and checked him carefully. Isaac explained what happened, and everyone stood in silent awe. Some patted him on the back, amazed by his bravery. The park supervisor came personally to thank him. He promised that from now on, there would be stricter safety rules in place for the reserve. Everyone was grateful for Isaac's bravery, and his actions had made a lasting impact. That night, Aqua rested peacefully in a special care area. He was surrounded by warmth, food, and love. Volunteers stayed close, taking turns to sit with him, watching over him as he slept gently. Isaac didn't leave either. He sat just outside the room, looking up at the stars, thankful that Aqua was safe. The story spread quickly across South Africa, touching the hearts of many. People were inspired by the deep bond between Isaac and Aqua, and amazed by the lengths Isaac went to protect his friend. The Johannesburg Zoo sent a message full of gratitude, thanking the Addo team for their care and sending their love to Aqua. In the days that followed, Aqua was treated like royalty. He had fought hard and shown incredible strength. Now, in the peaceful fields of Addo, he finally found the calm he had always deserved, surrounded by love and kindness.